I made a very interesting revelation a few days ago about stuff that I worry about. And I want to talk about it on today's episode of the McTaggart Attack podcast. Welcome. I'm Kevin McTaggart, the angriest comic in Vermont. I won't say I'm the worryingest comic in Vermont because I'm sure there's lots of other people that worry about stuff more than I do who are comedians, because I think that's essentially what comedians are. They're very observant, so of course the more observant they are, the more worrisome they are about things. So I don't want to take that claim. I'll just say angriest comic in Vermont because I've been introduced like that, so that's why I say that. It's not a title that I gave myself. Okay, I just want to put that out there right now. Angriest comic in Vermont is not a title that I gave myself. It was given to me by other people. I've been called that on multiple occasions. So there. I don't want any claims of, oh, he's just calling himself that. No. Not just fucking calling myself that. Anyway. As I said in the beginning, had a revelation about stuff regarding how I worry about things, what I worry about. And I wanted to talk about it in this episode. I'll tell the story about how I came to this revelation. I went to go pick up some food at the 99 restaurant in West Lebanon, New Hampshire. And I've done that plenty of times during the pandemic. You know, you order online and then you put all the information. You can either pay when you get there or you can pay online. I usually pay online. And you also have to put in like your car description. You know, because you park in a certain area there, right in front of the restaurant for curbside pickup, because that's what everybody's mostly doing now is curbside pickup. So, I made the order for like, I think it was like 5:30 or something like that. It was for like a half an hour from now. And usually what happens is me and my dad, we drive there together in his car. So, but he, who works from home too, here with me, because I live with my parents. I'm 44 years old and live with my parents. If anybody wants to give to the Get Kevin the Fuck Out of His Parents House Fund, you can go ahead and find my Venmo password, my Venmo username in the show notes. So go give me money on Venmo. I'll appreciate it. All proceeds go to the Get Kevin the Fuck Out of His Parents House Fund. All donations to my Venmo account go to, Get Kevin the Fuck Out of His Parents House Fund. I think I might tweet that, honestly. Go find me on Venmo and pay me there. Might even give out the PayPal email address, which is kmac5576@aol.com. If you want to pay me that way too, I'll accept payment both ways. All contributions go to the Get Kevin the Fuck Out of His Parents House Fund. What was I talking about? 99 restaurant. So we usually go to the 99 restaurant together, but he had a problem. He's working from home, but he just got a new phone because his old one died. So he was trying to set up his new phone, and he was in the process of doing that. And I was helping him with that, and I helped him with it, pretty well. I had a feeling I was going to help him with it a lot anyway. I'm the IT person at the house. Maybe that's what I should do as a business. Just help people who are technologically challenged. Maybe that's a business I can go into. Do you need help setting up your phone? Do you need help with questions? There's got to be a Fiverr category for that, right? There's got to be a Fiverr category for that. Anyway, so bottom line is he couldn't go to 99. So I'm like, I'll just go myself. And this was after I had ordered and put the order in. So as I'm getting ready to leave the house, get the shoes on, open the door, I realize I'm going out to my car. I'm going out to my car, not the car that I described in the online description. when I sent my submission, when I put in my order at 99 Restaurant, I didn't put in my car, a dark gray Subaru Crosstrek. No, I had the silver RAV4, from Toyota. So I'm like, oh crap. And then I walked out the door. Because I was thinking, I'm just going to go there and explain it to them. Because I was worried that I wouldn't be able to get my food if I just parked there and and just waited for my food. Because they wouldn't come out to me because my car wasn't the car that they were supposed to be looking for, that was affiliated with my order, that was associated with the order that I put out. So I drove there. I still parked in the curbside parking. And then I got out of the car immediately to go in there with a mask on, because I'm not stupid. Wear a fucking mask, people. Wear a mask. If you can't socially distance, wear a fucking mask. How can people screw that shit up? So anyway, I go into the 99 and I wait because the woman's on the phone, and I explain my situation. Like, I drove here in the wrong car, but I made an order, and like I was prepared to give them my credit card, and I was preparing all this stuff. I was worrying about all this stuff, and they're like, "Oh, don't worry, that happens all the time. That happens all the time." And they gave me my food, and they're very nice about it, and I was very nice about it. It was a very good situation. I brought the food home. But that whole story, that whole scenario, that whole situation made me realize that I worry about stuff, for the most part, that happens all the time. Be it I drove to 99 in the wrong car for curbside pickup. That's one example. There's a bunch of other examples. Like, I do tend to worry about stuff that happen all the time. For some reason right now, I can't think of any other examples, but like, it's just anything really. I just, whether I forgot to do something or didn't do something correctly, didn't follow the exact instructions, worrying about stuff like that. I could have waited in the car, I think they told me, and they would have came out and they would have, said, "Oh, okay," and given me my food. But like, I went into 99 to let them know, that, hey, I didn't come in the right car. So they just gave me my food while I was in the restaurant, which was fine. But like, it's scenarios like that, things like that, where the person where I've done something wrong, or I'm worried that something bad will happen to me, and I tell them, "Oh, I did this, such and such," and they're like, "Oh, it happens all the time." I worry about a lot of stuff. Most of the time, I worry about a lot of stuff where it's really just stuff that happens all the time. It happens all the time. Like, and I've told people that. I've given people that response too when they come to me worried about stuff. Like, "Oh, don't worry, it happens all the time." So why the fuck am I worried? Do I keep worrying about stuff that happens all the time? Why? What's the point of worrying about stuff that happens all the time? If it happens all the time, so it's okay. You don't have to worry about it. It's not like they're going to deny me my food. I mean, I was going to give them the credit card, but like, I was worrying about stuff like that too on the fucking way over. But yeah, I'm just sick and tired of worrying about stuff that apparently happens all the time. And I made that revelation today, or the other day. And I wanted to talk about it on today's episode of the McTaggart Attack podcast. Available on YouTube and wherever you're listening to podcasts. But you know that because you're watching it right now. Are you watching it right now? Leave a comment if you're watching it right now. If you're hearing me asking, I'm asking. If you're watching the podcast right now, leave a comment in the YouTube video. I'll wait. Because I just started putting these on YouTube, video of me doing my podcast on YouTube. And it's where you ever listen to it on podcast. If you're listening to this on the podcast, leave me a message too. If you're listening to it right now, I want to know if anyone's listening to this part of the podcast right now. I will not be surprised if nobody replies to me, but I'll be pleasantly surprised if somebody does reply to me. And before I go, don't forget that I hate these stupid call to action thingies, but god damn it, I want to say it anyway. Hit the like and subscribe button on YouTube if you haven't subscribed already, but definitely hit the like button. And you can also hit the like button, I think, on some of the ways you listen to it on podcasts, but subscribe, rate, and review it, please. Because the more reviews I get, the more attention the podcast gets. And before I go, I just want to say that I really like Coke Zero Sugar. I mean, they changed the formula a couple of years ago, and they nailed it. Because it's 0 calories and tastes just like Coke. So this podcast, this episode in particular, is unofficially sponsored by Coke Zero Sugar. It's delicious. Tastes just like regular Coke. They nailed it. I did a podcast episode a couple years ago when they did change the formula, and I said that they nailed it, and then like a few days later they came out with an ad that said that they nailed it. So I feel like they owe me money, but I'm not going to be upset about that. I'm not thinking about the past. I'm thinking about the future. I want to sponsor Coke Zero Sugar, is what I'm saying. So if you're watching, I'll sponsor Coke Zero Sugar in every damn episode if you pay me to do this podcast. And that's the bottom line. If you smell what the McTaggart Attack podcast is cooking.